Zeus, king of the Greek gods, god of thunder, father of Olympus. There is a name, older than Greece itself, that you need to hear. Dyaus Pitar. That is the ancient Sanskrit name for the supreme sky god of the Vedic people, the oldest religion on earth. Dyaus Pitar, Zeus Pater, Jupiter. 3 civilizations, 3 languages, thousands of miles apart. One identical name, meaning the exact same thing in all 3. Sky Father. That is not a coincidence. That is a fingerprint. And today, we follow it.
In the next 14 minutes, we're going to look at 7 gods, Greek and Hindu, whose names, weapons, powers, and stories are so similar that leading linguists and historians now agree they did not inspire each other. They came from the same source. A civilization so ancient, it has no monuments, no ruins, no written records. Only its gods, scattered across every language that came after it. And the only religion on earth that still carries its original DNA intact is Hinduism. This is not mythology. This is linguistics. This is archaeology. This is history. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it.
Let us begin with the 2 most powerful gods in their respective pantheons. Indra, king of the Vedic gods, god of thunder, lightning, storms, and war. Wielder of the Vajra, an indestructible thunderbolt forged from the bones of a sage. Zeus, king of the Olympian gods, god of thunder, lightning, storms, and justice. Wielder of the thunderbolt, forged by the Cyclopes. Both are kings of gods. Both control weather and thunder. Both carry a signature lightning weapon crafted by divine smiths. Both kill a great serpent. Indra slays Vritra. Zeus destroys Typhon. Both are associated with the bull. Both have complicated marriages that become famous myths. Both are eventually displaced from supreme importance as their religion evolves. The similarities are extraordinary. But the names are where it becomes impossible to ignore. Scholars have established that Indra and Zeus are cognate deities, meaning they share a common linguistic and mythological ancestor in Proto-Indo-European religion. Both inherit from the same original sky father, Dyaus Pitar, whose name became Zeus Pater in Greek, Jupiter in Latin, and Dyaus in Sanskrit. One ancient people, 2 migrations, 2 civilizations, 2 names for the same god, separated by 5,000 years and 3,000 miles. And that was just the first one. The next comparison is where historians start to argue. Poseidon, god of the sea, rivers, storms, and earthquakes. Brother of Zeus, trident in hand. Varuna, god of oceans, rivers, celestial waters, cosmic order, and moral law. One of the oldest Vedic deities, lasso in hand. Both govern the waters. Both are deeply associated with cosmic justice. Varuna punishes those who break cosmic law. Poseidon punishes those who offend the gods. Both are brothers of the chief sky god in their pantheon. Both carry a binding weapon, the lasso and the trident, used to restrain and punish. But here is what makes this connection remarkable. In Vedic hymns, Varuna is described as the god who knows the path of birds in the sky, the course of ships in the ocean, and the secrets of every human heart. Poseidon in Homer is the god who shakes the earth, commands the depths, and sees all that moves beneath the waves. 2 gods, 2 oceans, 2 civilizations. One all-seeing, all-knowing lord of the waters. That parallel is not accidental. That is inherited memory. Every ancient civilization looked up at the sun and saw a god. But the specific details of how they pictured that god, that is where it gets remarkable. Surya, the Hindu sun god, rides a golden chariot pulled by 7 white horses across the sky each day. Helios, the Greek sun god, rides a golden chariot pulled by 4 white, fire-breathing horses across the sky each day. Sol,
the Norse sun goddess, rides a chariot pulled by two white horses. The chariot, the white horses, the daily journey across the sky. The same story, in three cultures, on three continents, from one ancient source. Scholars have noted something extraordinary about this myth. The chariot was not yet invented when the Proto-Indo-Europeans first separated into different peoples. Which means this story spread before the technology it describes even existed. It was carried as a memory of something imagined, long before any human hand built a wheel. What happens when you die? Two civilizations, separated by the entire width of the ancient world, gave almost the same answer. The next one is the comparison that surprised me most. It is not the gods themselves. It is their dogs. Yama, the Hindu god of death. He is not evil. He is the first mortal to ever die, who then became the judge of all who follow. He weighs your deeds, good against bad, and decides your fate in the afterlife. Hades, the Greek god of the underworld. He does not kill. He rules what comes after. His realm is where souls go to be judged, separated into Elysium for the good and Tartarus for the wicked. Both are judges, not killers. Both inherited their role as the first to die. Both operate a cosmic justice system based entirely on the merit of your earthly life. The moral framework of the afterlife. That what you do in life determines what happens after death, appears in both Hinduism and Greek religion, inherited from the same ancestral source. It is the most human of all ideas, and it is older than either civilization. The next one is the comparison that surprised me most. It is not the gods themselves. It is their dogs. This is the one that nobody talks about. Guarding the gates of the Greek underworld, Cerberus, the multi-headed dog who prevents the dead from leaving. Guarding the realm of the Hindu god Yama, Sharvara and Shama, two four-eyed dogs who serve as messengers and guardians of the dead. Same role, same location. The boundary between the living and the dead.
Now, some scholars believe the Greek word Cerberus and the Sanskrit word Sharvara may share a Proto-Indo-European root meaning spotted. Others are skeptical. The etymology is still being debated. But here is what no scholar disputes. Two civilizations on opposite sides of the ancient world with no known contact, both independently imagined a divine dog standing at the gate between the living and the dead. Not a lion, not a serpent, not a warrior. A dog. At some point in prehistory, before Greece was Greece, before India was India, someone told a story about a dog that guards the land of the dead. That story survived, in two places, with the same name. Not all gods are thunderers and warriors. Some gods walk roads. Some protect flocks. Some play music in the hills. Pan, the Greek god of the wild, shepherds, and rustic music, half goat, plays the pan flute, protects roads and travelers. Pushan, the Vedic god of journeys, roads, and livestock, pulls a chariot drawn by goats, protector of travelers and herdsmen. The connection between Pan and Pushan was first formally identified by the linguist Hermann Kollitz in 1924. Both names traced to the same Proto-Indo-European root. Both pastoral deities associated with goats. Both protecting travelers on roads. Both living at the edge of the civilized world, in forests, hills, and open country. The humble shepherd god, who nobody writes epic poems about. He survived too. Carried quietly in two languages across the ancient world for 5,000 years. This final comparison is perhaps the most elegant of all, because it is not a god. It is an idea. In Hindu mythology, Amrita, the nectar of immortality, the drink that makes gods immortal. From the Sanskrit, a meaning without, mrita meaning death, not death. In Greek mythology, Ambrosia, the food or drink of the gods that grants immortality. From the Greek, a, meaning without, protos, meaning mortal, not mortal. The Sanskrit Amrita and the Greek protos both descend from the same Proto-Indo-European root, meaning to die. Two civilizations, two languages, one concept built identically for the same divine idea. The gods did not just share names and weapons. They shared the very idea of what made them gods. Immortality. The thing that separated them from us. In both languages, it was described simply as not death.
So, did the Greeks copy the Hindus? The honest answer, backed by over a century of linguistics, comparative mythology, and archaeology, is this: neither. Both the Greeks and the Hindus inherited from something older, something that has no name, no cities, no written texts. Scholars call them the Proto-Indo-Europeans, a pastoral people who lived on the Eurasian steppes, somewhere between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea, approximately 4,000 to 6,000 years before the Common Era. As they migrated west into Europe, east into Persia, and then India, they carried their language with them, their stories, their gods. Over centuries, those gods changed names, changed faces, changed stories, but kept their bones. The Thunder King, who wields a lightning weapon and kills a great serpent, became Indra in India, Zeus in Greece, Thor in Norway, Jupiter in Rome, Perun in Slavic lands. The Sky Father, whose name means Father of the Daylit Sky, became Dyaus Pitar in the Rig Veda, Zeus Pater in Homer, Jupiter in Virgil. The drink of immortality became Amrita in Sanskrit, Ambrosia in Greek. The same word, the same idea, the same inheritance. Here is what makes this extraordinary. The Greek gods are mythology, the Norse gods are mythology, the Roman gods are mythology. Their traditions died, their priests are gone, their rituals are lost. But Hinduism, the easternmost branch of this ancient family, is still alive, still practiced, still evolving. 1.5 billion people. Which means something remarkable. Things about ancient European religion that have been forgotten forever, they can only be recovered today by studying Hinduism. The Rig Veda is not just India's oldest scripture. It is the closest surviving window into the religion of the ancient world that gave birth to Zeus, Thor, and Jupiter. Hinduism didn't copy Greece. Hinduism preserved what Greece forgot.
Now, I want to be precise with you, because this channel will always be precise. This is not fringe theory. Proto-Indo-European linguistics is mainstream academic scholarship, taught at Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, and every major university that studies ancient languages. The connections between Vedic Sanskrit and ancient Greek are not disputed by serious scholars. They are foundational to how we understand ancient history. What is debated, and genuinely debated, is the direction and timing. Some Western scholars have traditionally dated Greek written texts earlier than the written Sanskrit texts and implied Greek priority. But that compares ink on papyrus to ink on palm leaf, not the traditions themselves. The Rig Veda's oral tradition predates its written form by centuries, possibly millennia. The hymns were memorized and transmitted verbatim across generations before a single word was written down. When you compare oral tradition to oral tradition, the Vedic record is among the oldest on Earth. The debate is not settled, and that is precisely why this conversation needs to happen. What do you think? Tell me in the comments.
7 gods, 2 civilizations, 1 ancient source. Indra and Zeus, the same Thunder King, carrying the same lightning, killing the same serpent. Varuna and Poseidon, the same ocean lord, governing the same waters, bound by the same cosmic law. Yama and Hades, the same judge of the dead, weighing the same deeds by the same moral framework. Sharvara and Cerberus, the same guardian dog, standing at the same gate between the same 2 worlds. Amrita and Ambrosia, the same immortal drink, built from the same root word for the same divine idea. These are not coincidences. These are memories. Memories so old they predate every civilization we know of. Carried in language, the most durable technology our ancestors ever invented. Every time you read about Zeus hurling a thunderbolt, you are reading an echo of Indra. Every time you hear about Ambrosia on Mount Olympus, you are tasting Amrita from the Vedas. The ancient world was not a collection of isolated civilizations, each inventing their own gods from scratch. It was one vast, spreading story, told in 100 languages, about the same sky, the same thunder, the same death, the same hope for immortality. And the oldest version of that story is still being told, today, in India. If this changed how you see the ancient world, there are 7 more crossings to make. Next week, Thor and Indra, the same god, 1,000 years further west. Subscribe and we will follow this trail together. Until next time, stay curious.